Oh my goodness. Well, that was just a neat little surprise. Rob Liefeld, who drew Lady Pool.
I love Rob.
He's cool,
Isn't
right?
he great?
Yeah.
Let's not mince words, Ryan. Reynolds was kicked out right away. The fact that it's from Disney is obvious from the headline. Furthermore, as if that weren't insane enough, we've got Justin Baldoni throwing a lawsuit involving an enigmatic beautiful pool. Someone you might have heard of. Whispers Reynolds has apparently gone astray, crossing the border in such a ridiculous way that the Mouse House slammed the door in his face. Believe it or not, people, this is the meltdown is being discussed by everyone, and are you ready? Our purpose is to share everything, taking attack the scandal head-on without holding back. On social media, it will go viral. Eat the earth.
It's not every day a guy gets to interview the love interest of his best friend's wife, and the guy trying to replace Ryan as a husband and me as his best mate.
Holy shit.
Since you're not going to believe me, what comes next? The murmurs are spinning that when a back is closed. As they met, Ryan Reynolds bounded off the doors. Command a team of Disney executives. We are engaged in a heated discussion. Calls rushing out of the conference room. Rooms, supposedly this malfunction resulted in a sequence of actions that led to Disney's top dogs feeling harassed and cornered. Invested a great deal of money and trust in. Reynolds is standing in front of multiple marquees. Endeavors but following those behind. Outburst that poured over others. Let's say Mickey's castle gets cold.
I could not be more excited, actually. I'm 11 years excited. When I talk about it, I always just grateful I'm wearing an adult diaper. This movie has been just the biggest pain in the ass.
Why is it so? It's just so sudden that it's wild. Reynolds is now cruising. That sarcastic, free-spirited attitude. Over the years, he has cultivated Mr. Charisma. Publicly smiling all the time, the next time we're learning about unacceptable arrogance and inconsiderate disregard for the brand. That gave him a place to perform the meltdown. Allegedly contained disagreements. The nice pool ComEd part is the one that, perhaps pitched or partially, developed under Disney's supervision. Reynolds tried to confirm the report that was circulating, it as if it were his own child.
Approached a senior executive at WME and expressed his deep disdain for Baldoni, going as far as to suggest that the agency is working with a
disregarding feedback from Justin Baldoni in advance. If that won't be enough to get your brain going, take note of how fast Disney acted. They gathered in silence in spite of the commotion. Silent emergency session of the top management's prompt determination that Reynolds didn't announce anything. Press releases only provide a brief synopsis of the fingers he was gone and the important question, people's opinions about why this tragic. Check to see whether he may have spouted or said something unsuitable, but this. Is Ryan Reynolds the sole spokesperson for Synergy? Typically offers a well-known celebrity a lot of leeway. So what kind of startling discovery led to the ignite so fast?
I had no idea, but in 2010, he drew Lady Deadpool, and at the same time, I was cast in the Green Lantern with my now husband, who is not my husband.
Well, prepare yourselves because that tantrum was only the start. What follows is little more than a show, yet that didn't the whole story advance to. Following that, the rumor mill was an overdrive voicemails that were compromised, hush-hush, messages, and perhaps even a clip of questionable sound. 1 or 2 clips as some presumed recordings that are audible. Reynolds criticizing the direction of the work. Disney apparently listened to his request, declaring that they are incapable of possessing my. Speaking humorously to a senior executive. Your grandmother is not that stupid. Cartoon, so perhaps you shouldn't be so critical, but for a famous star who has established a character on being jovial, personable, and passionate. Focused, it's simply shocking. Meanwhile, we're getting tidbits of information about communications that hint to illicit transactions. Reynolds made an effort to broker.
And so I read the script and I just immediately did a voice note. And I didn't call because I wanted it just to be my without any questions. And literally 60 minutes of it is crap.
With according to third-party companies, cameo tie-ins, or streaming services that stay away from Disney's standard procedures. One version of the rumor has said that a Disney worker discovered these side sales and felt suddenly warning superiors. A different version claims that these beautiful Disney owned the pool pieces at first. Reynolds tried to complete a property autonomous action on the top and covert. Justin Baldoni's name appears with claims to be the original creator, the fundamental concept that underlies the fraud. This kicker has no backing from Justin Baldwin.
Down. Agree that the moral crimes committed here by Ryan Reynolds against Justin Baldoni have amounted to high treason.
There are rumors that these voicemails could contain references to Baldoni's and Baldwin's previous theories. Evidence in the form of documents to show that it was. Reynolds just strolled along Disney's. He may have been infringing Baldwin's rights, legal property, as well as talking about the twin blows are already causing Disney pain. Appears to be accomplished by the negative. On their laps was a PR powder keg. They allegedly tried to fix the damage. Not visible to the general public, but the meltdown was too big to hide.
It was inarticulate, it was embarrassing,
it was
but
great.
I learnt this from my acting teacher. When you first read a play or a script, write down everything you think because you never have those eyes.
When a celebrity of Reynolds' jabs level of quality left. And correct, in addition to mocking co-creators, it's a scandal waiting to happen. Imagine the fans hearing that blow up. Their favorite comical character isn't particularly. After all the suffering, it feels comfortable and comforting. Alone might have compelled Disney to cut back. Not at any cost, but you know what? We're just starting to investigate right now. Let's talk about Baldoni, whom you might know as the enthusiastic actor and director behind many of good initiatives, yet there are rumors assert that he is prone to retaliation if you said to have betrayed him. Baldoni has been working on the Nice Pool project for a while, an odd notion that was claimed to focus on amusing scenes that are centered around more profound life lessons leaking into a swimming pool. Ryan Reynolds walks in, who appeared to get the concept, presented it to the senior management of Disney, and he attributed his own genius to it. Insiders claim that Baldoni Reynolds was approached in private and asked for recognition, or at least credit, for his contribution, the quiet reaction on the radio, or so the story goes on.
And Rob Liefeld drew Lady Pool based on, he and his wife watched Gossip Girl.
Yes.
So it just was just a crazy, it's just like how the world just kind of.
So he had already had you in mind for that?
He did. And then, my husband and I, got married.
I'm not sorry. What time is the not a co-ownership discussion? Baldoni reportedly lost his patience, stated that they had collected all of a sample of evidence emails mentioning their initial brainstorming sessions, Reynolds' text messages expressing thanks, Baldoni's viewpoint, and possibly even behind the pictures that depict the scenes. Speaking of a beautiful pool, the shocking revelation is Reynolds asserts in the Baldwin complaint deliberately disregarded a sentence in their actions. That is 1,000 times more energizing. The controversy surrounding Baldwin makes news in tabloids. I seem to have made this, and Ryan considered it for A.
There was no association with Ryan. Ryan had no association with Deadpool. I mean, he was supposed to make this movie, but it wasn't. It was a pipe dream. It wasn't ever really going to happen.
Big Disney. Take note of the controversy surrounding Baldoni's filing. Records that are examined by the courts, and the Disney brand seems even more shaker. Were they aware of Bond's role? For the star, did they ignore it? The capacity to finish Bond's social media presence turned mysterious, publishing unclear references to Hollywood backstabbing, and advocating for what's right, supporting. Fans speculate as to who already think Reynolds is playing tricks then. Reynolds apparently lost his job at Disney. A lot of people connect once. The lawsuit against Disney caused a substantial accountability for maintaining their wagon to Reynolds in case Baldwin's evidence is half as credible as the rumors surrounding this disaster. Might cause humiliation for everyone, and if you think that's where the line ends, keep your grip tight when famous names clash. Hollywood pays attention.
People who, like, I don't necessarily, like, we're not best buddies at all moments, but, like, do we do well together on screen? And there's some people that, like, we're best buddies, and then on screen it's like, so you just...
And this catastrophe has drawn a lot of parallel. Every character has their own spicy. People are whispering about Blake. Lively's spouse is concerned that the husband's breakdown might harm both their own brand in addition to their charitable activities, according to some. Furious behind the scenes, begging him to come simplify and streamline things, but hey, in the meantime, that's just the grapevine. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's name came up. He is well known for establishing alliances and crossovers with Reynolds cameos, particularly after that buddy cops excitement. They displayed themselves in many endeavors. Is Dwayne's team exercising caution? People don't want The Rock's unstoppable association lessens the box office's attraction. With a controversy that fans are examining, every little gesture was made by The Rock. Reynolds privately unfollowed him. Did he delete? Mentioning earlier partnerships, the rumors spinning in addition to others such as Hugh Jackman, whose background includes fierce rivalry with Reynolds. The two have been funny together for a long time. Insults directed against one another on social media, but in light of these charges, those who are watching claim that Jackman has stopped talking altogether. No teasing jokes, no words of encouragement. Nothing that the vacuum of the reaction could. If you can't keep your voice down, talk loudly. Seasoned jester, but you might know more than you're acknowledging. Also on a few Disney properties, names like Tom Holland or Brie Larson perhaps experienced a quiet sense of relief that turns out their lights, so it's hypothesis, but there's a lot of discussion. For studio stars, this is a wake-up call. No one is unbeatable, not even in a light-hearted sense. Darlings, the old rule said that if you make a substantial income and keep up your amusing yourself in front of others at work, was clearly no longer secure, and it remains so now. I have no doubt that the scandal has reached its climax, until someone mentions Reynolds' chamber. The humorously manipulating side of Ryan Reynolds built a successful brand on irreverent humor that appears to be genuine conversations, surrounded by admirers, and that nearby merely exudes a movie star feel. But beneath that polished surface, there are new stories keep falling out. Insiders are currently asserting that Reynolds may be harsh and clever, take advantage of his comedic appeal to sway colleagues to his advantage. In some stories say that if you don't fit in keeping with his vision, he will sideline you. It's so fast that it's unnoticeable. But when he's on camera, he only makes jokes and off-camera grins, the laser myth. Focused operator who understands just how to control any situation for his own gain. Think about if the meltdown rumor is precise, especially in the event that the case involves text. Reynolds is shown as the main character in Chains, the creative force behind the beautiful pool. Then by tracking a pattern over time, users thought that he was just being proactive. On comedic endeavors in real life, he might been ignoring partners or taking up all of their thoughts. This tension between the valiant comedian and, in the back room, a possible manipulator is creating a lot of outrage among fans. Spectators say they feel duped, much as the endearing performer they depended on was all. Something that some people believe we should postpone. More details, but let's recognize the damage might already be finished if enough previous coworkers share anecdotes regarding interactions or questionable behavior. A once unbreakable brand could crash and burn. Critics also point out that Reynolds has a history of altering his direction, turning amusing anecdotes generate millions of dollars. Marketing contracts. Remember how he changed the manner his spouse enters a marketing empire with alcohol and phone brands, companies and others that have a similar image. Brilliant mind using another person's concept to close a big deal with. Disney doesn't seem so implausible anymore. Works, but only if you think it can't. If it becomes any darker, something else strikes. The admirer of the rumors about Meltdown, and the complaint against Baldoni wasn't recent enough. According to a source, claims keep coming up near the circumstance that was allegedly disclosed. Emails from Hush Hush regarding remuneration. Keep quiet about everything. In essence, it is a cloak and dagger storyline suitable for the biggest tabloids. The collapse of the business that started by shouting behind closed. It looks like doors have fallen loose. Awful combination of incomplete facts and private discussions, and Disney is now completely damage control mode, as stated by others. Their attorney might be getting ready for a procedure of investigation that may result in. Are executives allowed to attend depositions? Think about the news stories about Bob Iger, or it was necessary for another senior executive to testify about who came up with the beautiful pool idea first. Meanwhile, insanity among people close to Reynolds claims that this is all being overly optimistically. They argue that Reynolds didn't intentionally steal. In any case, he was only endorsing a he might have thought of a funny joke with. Baldoni brainstormed a little. That doesn't work well in a conversation, though. Formally documented documents that Baldwin's